Hey there, thank you for joining me once again. This is just another fun video. And with these fun videos, feel free to start a discussion with the comments. Now, obviously, this is just fun. It's nothing that serious. The last one was about free agency and professional football. This one's going to be about Star Wars. Don't take these too seriously. Just share some comments. If you disagree with me, that's great. If you agree with me, that's great. I just want us to have a little bit of fun while we're all quarantined, and things have stepped up. As of midnight tonight, the state of Indiana is going to be shut down, I guess is the terminology. Basically, if it's not essential travel, and the governor of Indiana listed out what essential businesses are, then you shouldn't be going to your work. If essential travels, things like getting food, getting groceries, you're allowed to go out and walk, but you're not allowed to be driving around all over the place. So I think we need to have some fun. We need to have some enjoyment, because things are going to get very hard, and if we don't have anything fun or enjoyable, then it's going to be very difficult. So that's what these fun videos are for. So please don't take them too seriously. I'm just sharing them to have some fun. But I said I want to talk about Star Wars. I really like Star Wars. Not that I'm one of these super fans who can tell you tons of details about the Star Wars universe. I find the expanded Star Wars universe, so Star Wars outside of the main movies, I find it enjoyable. The extended universe, of course, that is a very low definition of what the extended Star Wars universe is, because of Star Wars you have the movies, which are now episodes 1 through 9. You have Rogue One, you have the Han Solo movie, and there are more movies that are coming out now. Maybe they put more of those movies on hold, but the movies are kind of the big name productions. You also have the Star Wars Clone Wars cartoons. You have the Star Wars Rebels cartoons. You have now Star Wars Resistance, I believe, is another thing out there. And you have different novels, you have graphic novels, you have all sorts of things that have been produced under Star Wars. You have video games that some contribute to the story of Star Wars and some don't. Once Disney took over, you have all of the books written before that are now called Legends, and I don't know, you have all these kind of like stories told within the universe that may or may not be true, and now you're having more books written that are definitely true about Star Wars. And this Star Wars extended universe, expanded universe, it gets very complicated, so I'm just labeling it. The movies are the main thing that people know. The expanded universe is going to be everything outside of that. I don't know a whole lot. I couldn't tell you a lot of details about the expanded universe, but I find it interesting. It's enjoyable to hear about. It's really cool to see this entire universe, this entire world that's been created around this story, and how sometimes it's consistent with itself, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's more outlandish than others, but I find it enjoyable nonetheless. And I've just recently gone back to the prequels, so episodes 1, 2, and 3. I have been reading the books, I've rewatched the movies, and as most of us who've seen Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, anyone who's seen those will probably admit the acting's not great. There are a few decent acting performances, but man, the emotion just feels so fake, and it's hard to tell whether it's the lines or whether it's the way the actors are delivering them or what's going on with that. But acting's not great. But reading the books has been very eye-opening. The books have been very, very enjoyable. They've made the story make more sense. Of course, there's more packed into these books. There's more backstory that's kind of woven in that couldn't get included into the movie. There's a better explanation of the emotions and thoughts of the characters than you can get in the movie. But as much as the books are extremely enjoyable, rewatching the movies reminded me that they weren't that terrible. I did not dislike the movies that much when they came out, and I've heard people saying that the movies get a really hard time because over time the people who are deep into Star Wars have gone on about how terrible these movies are, how they've ruined the series, and you can see a little bit of a philosophical shift in these first 3 movies. In the first Star Wars movies that came out, A New Hope, I think The Empire Strikes Back, and The Return of the Jedi, those were very big on the Force could be for everyone. Anyone could experience the Force. Some people experience it more than others, but it's just this thing that's kind of around. And then the prequels do get rid of that, talking about how there are these little creatures that help you experience the Force and all that kind of stuff. It does kind of shift the narrative of the whole story a bit, but it's still so good. I have found the story to be pretty good. It explains how Darth Vader came about. How did the Empire come about? Where did we get, this world that is falling apart? And I don't know, if you have some time on your hands, you're wondering what you should be doing with all this free time now that we seem to have, Star Wars could definitely take up your time. It's enjoyable. It's a lot of fun. I would encourage you, don't use all of your time going into Star Wars. Most videos on this channel are going to be about bettering ourselves, making us more who we're meant to be, making us more the person that we should be. But you also need to have some fun. You need to enjoy yourself some. And I think that entering into the Star Wars universe and even going back to those prequels, it can be a very fun way to do it. So that was just my quick take on Star Wars. Again, not super informed take, but having just watched the prequels again, reading through the books of those, I've enjoyed it. So maybe that'll give you something to enjoy during this time. If you're not into sports, Star Wars can be another really fun thing to look at. So I'll be posting another fun video here soon, but hope you have a good day.